How's everybody doing? Good. Yeah, there you go. Like it. Go ahead, fire away.
Yeah, was there anything you guys kind of pinpointed on by?
Yeah, look, there were certainly a lot of things that we looked at. I mean, I think, we've kind of been a little bit of a tale of two teams in that, the first part of the season, we struggled offensively, over the first 5 games and defensively played pretty well. That's kind of flipped a little bit over the last 5 weeks. So, we've got to, be able to kind of continue some of the things where we made some improvement offensively, and certainly there's still some things that we need to do better, and we need to get back to playing, the type of defense that we played earlier in the season. That was probably the biggest thing that kind of stood out to me.
I assume like when you guys go through that, there aren't like eureka moments or whatever, but like do you find like specifically you're like, okay, these are,
Yeah, and I'm not going to go public with, all the different things that we kind of came up with, but I did think we identified a few things that will help us improve, and so now we got to go out there and do it, so, but yeah, there's not like this aha moment that, oh, that's the one thing that if we just do that, we're going to be fine. I mean, there's a few things that we've got to be better at.
Is there any kind of updates you can give us on Carr, Lattimore, Mike?
Yeah, look, I think Michael Thomas and Lattimore, these are injuries that are going to take some time. So, but I think other than that, I think we're in a pretty good spot.
Like, do you anticipate IR as a possibility?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
And second opinions that they got, I assume last week kind of reflect.
I think everything I think we're all on the same page in terms of where we're at.
And has Carr already completed all the steps he needs?
No, we still got, he's still got to be able to go through practice and all that. So, and I can't really comment on it.
Yeah.
So he's still in the protocol?
He's in the protocol.
How much of the South Scout was trying to figure out, since Derek's new to this team, what has worked for him, what's not working in the best position?
I think there's a lot of that goes into it. There's a lot of factors that you take into account. Certainly he's a big part of it, and trying to put him in positions that he's, most comfortable, and get him to continue to improve. Like I said, I think when you go back and you look at it from a statistical standpoint, over the last 5 weeks, we've done some really good things offensively, and yet we still, need to be more consistent there. But I think a lot of the issue has been just our ability to play complementary football, offense, defense, kicking game. And so, like I said, when we're playing well, defensively, it's been pretty good. Obviously, it hadn't been that way over the last month, and then offensively, I think we've improved a lot. So we really got to find a way to get the first 5 weeks defense to show up and the last 5 weeks offense to show up, and see if those two units can play together as a team. And I think if we can do that, then we'll see a lot better results.
With A.T. Perry, Michael Thomas out, just what are you kind of hoping to see for him in terms of next steps? Yeah,
look, I think step up, make the plays that are there for him to make, execute his assignments. Continue to come in here and work hard. I thought there were some good things that he did in the game the other day, and then there's some things that he could be better at. So I think with any young player, you just want to see him continue to improve, daily.
A guy like him falling to the 6th round, did you feel when it happened that you guys maybe got a steal there or whatever?
Well, look, we thought he was a talented player, and really liked the skill set, liked the size. Like the length, like his ability to transition in and out of routes. Needed to see him play a more physical brand of football. I think that's still an area that he can continue to improve in. But yeah, we like the thought of the player.
Does the role that you maybe envision for him on draft night, does it change or does it, with Thomas out, or does it kind of more crystallize now that he's getting out?
Well, look, I mean, I think, obviously when Mike went down in the game, his role, increased. I think that kind of position is the position that we see him playing. So yeah, I would see that he would have to have an increased role.
You're obviously going to face a team that stubbornly sticks to the run, and that's kind of their identity. Do you have a good evaluation of your run defense? Judging by the teams you've faced this year, you haven't faced a lot of the top rushing offense.
Yeah. Look, I think we're 10 games into the season, so I think we have a pretty good evaluation of where we're at and what we need to do better, what we're doing well. So yeah, I think we have a decent feel for where we're at in terms of run defense. We're going to get tested. I think this is one of the better rushing units in our league. I think they block it well up front. I think they have a couple of runners that I think are really good runners, a little bit different style, but yet really good runners and really effective runners. I think they do a good job of blocking on the perimeter, which that's always something that leads to explosive runs. And I think they're athletic at the quarterback position, which is something that you have to account for.
What is that about? I mean, you guys made a lot of changes up front. Obviously, do you feel like the run defense is close to where you want it to? Against running back, not just the quarterback.
Yeah, I think the running back runs have overall been pretty good. It's never good enough. I mean, you're always looking at how can you improve. But I think overall the running back runs have been pretty good. It's a lot of the quarterback stuff that's really kind of gotten the rushing stats a little out of whack. But and look, I think we identified a few areas where teams are trying to attack us. Whether it be in the run game or the pass game. So there's a couple of things I think from a fundamental standpoint, from a schematic standpoint, that we've got to we're looking at.
What did you guys like about Jason Pierre-Paul and bringing him in?
I think skins on the wall, veteran. I think he's a guy that still has, obviously, I think he still has the ability to play. He was productive last season, and so I think it's a good opportunity for us to bring him in, have him start out on the practice squad, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
What is your vantage point on 18 sacks through 10 games? I know a lot of that has been ways you've defended certain teams, but
Yeah, look, I mean, I think we needed to be able to affect the quarterback a little bit more from a pressure standpoint. I don't think it's been what we need it to be, and so that's obviously something that we've put a lot of thought into, and we'll need to affect the quarterback more from a pressure standpoint, in the second half of the season.
And what's just kind of the evaluation? It sounds like you guys feel like the offense is going the right way. What's the evaluation of Derek through first 10 games?
Yeah, I think as the season's gone on, I've seen an improvement out of Derek. There's still things that you'd like to see better, but I think overall he's been efficient. I think he's protected the ball. He's been able to take some shots down the field when they've presented themselves, and so I think, look, like a lot of our team, I think we'd still like to see more consistency in the passing game. There's a lot of elements that go into that, but I think overall, I think Derek's done a good job.
5-5, first place in NFC South. Is there a little bit of everything we had still in front of us kind of mindset?
Yeah, I told the team today, okay, we're not relying on help from anybody. So we're relying on the guys in this room, and we don't need help from anybody. So it's really on us.
You know, obviously, you've had guys go through the concussion protocol. Is it different when it's a quarterback? Does that affect how you kind of go about your preparation at all?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the protocol's protocol. Now, obviously, the fact that we've had a bye week, we've had a lot of extra time. So, without getting into too much detail, I don't think it affects much.
And with Marshawn set to miss some time, is that a situation where you feel like you just get a little hike over there?
Yeah, there'll be somebody playing out there, you know. Yeah, we'll have a plan for guys to go in and play, and I think we got some good options in the secondary, guys that can play corner, nickel, those types of things.
When he goes down, does that put any more pressure on the front to get more pressure in that sense?
I think anytime you lose a player of that magnitude, I think it puts a lot of pressure on a lot of other guys. Some other guys are going to have to step up. Whether it be the individuals that are replacing, an injured player, or other guys in the unit are going to have to step up and play at the top of their game. And so I think that's what we expect.
I know Cam Jordan's never been a guy who's measured in sacks alone, but what kind of a season do you think he's having, even though that number's been down for him? Yeah,
look, I think he would say that he thinks there's more opportunities out there to get the quarterback on the ground, and I think it's been something that we've discussed is when we have opportunities to, whether it be finish on the quarterback, make a play, whatever the case may be, we've got to capitalize on those opportunities. And so I think he's still playing the run really well. I think there's some opportunities in the passing game that I think he can affect the quarterback a little bit more.
So I know you probably already answered these questions, but Derek Carr still in protocol, I'm guessing?
Yes.
And the status with Marshawn and with Michael Thomas?
Yeah, I think both of those guys are going through the rehab process, and I think they'll probably miss some time.
I know the measurements are probably different, but how, far along is Derek, as far as getting close?
Yeah, I can't get into those specifics.
With the Falcons naming Ritter back to starting quarterback, what have you kind of seen from him on tape, and what does it do for you guys knowing that they're going with Ritter versus signing or having a team that's real?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously we've had a chance to watch how the offense operated with both quarterbacks. So you kind of have an idea, what they like and how they're gonna operate. I mean, obviously you don't know the exact plays or personnel groupings they're going to utilize, but I think it kind of helps a little bit just knowing kind of who you're expecting to see out there. I've seen a lot of good things out of Desmond Ritter. I mean, I've seen him, manage the offense, control the offense. They do a really good job, in terms of the play-action passing game. When they're running the ball well and able to get the play-action passing game going well, it's tough to defend. I think his legs are an asset for him, something that he's, particularly when you look down there in the red area, his ability to, run the ball down there, I think, has been highly effective. I think, I think probably the only knock that you would say that you'd see with the quarterback is he's turning the ball over a little bit too much. And other than that, I think, I've seen a lot of really good things. And I thought when they went to him at the end of the, Arizona game, I felt like they were more efficient offensively in that situation. All right, guys, thanks.